Good misty morning to you all. Another beautiful day, the last day of February, the last day of the first months of the Celtic spring. Did a little live video this morning for Facebook, the Facebook page. And when I come back in to the cottage, I watched a little interview, quite a short interview really, with Mark Boyle. Apparently it went out on Channel 4. And you will know, of course, that Mark Boyle visited Bealtaine Cottage several years ago, wanting to know about the compost toilet system that I used, and also wanting to look at the land and see what it was that I've done, and the planting of trees and the way I lived. Spent a lovely day with Mark, and Mark brought his friend, or should I say, Paul and Mark visited together. Paul Kingsnorth, who was one of the founder members of the Dark Mountain Project, and Paul's wife and children as well. And anyway, watching this little video about Mark, I noticed with great pride, in a way, that he was using the same compost toilet system that I innovated here at Bealtaine Cottage. Well, actually not quite innovated, because I know it's a very simple system and it's used all across the world. But I was happy to see him using the system. But more than that, I was intrigued by how his life has evolved, because he's come right away from all technology, and I mean all technology. He lives completely off-grid. Now, he was living off-grid before, but I think he still had his laptop and phone and stuff like that. But now he's given up everything. Laptop, phone, like I say, all technology. Living totally off-grid, and gone right to the, well, gone right to the other end of the spectrum. I mean, you know how balances swing. They start off, they kind of swing out to the right and swing back to the left in kind of both extremes. And then usually balance then occurs somewhere in the middle. I like to think that I've reached that kind of middle ground, because I still have technology, I still have electricity, though it's all very measured. It's a very measured form of usage. And I try to bring as many of the comforts of the 21st century into my world without going into excess, because I do think that the problem that we all face in the 21st century is the fact that we have so embraced excess that nothing is quite enough. We need that bit more, that bigger house, that bigger car, that more up-to-date washing machine, the latest clothes, the latest, you know, we've kind of got sucked into this realm of nothing is enough. And from what I perceived through watching Mark this morning on video, Mark has gone into the extreme end of the spectrum, where he's given up everything that is linked to the 21st century. He's a very, very interesting guy. And a very funny guy. I don't think I was ever as entertained by a visitor as I was by Mark. And Mark and Paul together just had a fantastically funny relationship as well, because they were like a double act, you know, very entertaining. And one of these days actually I must go and see Mark. I must go and visit him. He extended an invitation to me. I think it was about 4 years ago he was here, something like that. But I must go and visit him. But it was so interesting watching him, listening to him, and just seeing where he's got to in the whole scheme of things. Because my intention when I started the Bealtaine project, and why I have consistently kept with modern technology, my intention was and remains to try to encourage as many people as possible to take something from this project and make it their own. It's very difficult for many, many people who live in cities and towns to, you know, live the way that I live here. But there are elements of it which can be taken as a kind of a takeaway from this project, and people can make their own and develop that particular element in their own way. And being forever the optimist, I believe that even if you just take a tiny part of what is possible here and build on it, then that in itself is going to make the world a better place. And equally important, if not more important, the way that that makes you feel and the way that that makes you think is going to feed in to the universal consciousness, which is all about trying to make things better. Now, Mark also touched on the word sustainable, which I have had quite a big war with over recent years, because it's used now by corporations and everything. You know, fracking is sustainable, oil is sustainable. You know, it's become such a sort of a bullshit word. And he's right in what he says, that we're sustaining nothing. If it isn't regenerative in some way or other, then forget it. Because to sustain the status quo is to head towards oblivion. We can't do that. We have to regenerate. We have to be regenerative. We have to help her to be regenerative. Like all this lovely Aquilegia growing up through the gravel there. So much food there for the bees. Regeneration is the name of the game. That's what Mother Earth does. She continually regenerates. The only thing that I would say about the interview with Mark is that I feel, and this is just my personal opinion, it's not any kind of ridicule on Mark at all, but I feel as though Mark has kind of backed himself into a corner. Because you see, I think that technology is wonderful. I mean, don't forget that a lead pencil is technology. Anything that's been invented or created by us humans, in order to make our lives easier or simpler or better functioning, that's technology. As an optimist, I embrace technology. I just think that we have to be a bit more choosy about what aspects of it we embrace. Jack? Come on. See, I think that sharing what is possible, with as many people as possible, is very important to me. Like, I'm very proud of my mother. I'm very proud of Mother Earth. So I want to show her off. I want to entice people towards her. And using modern technology enables me to do that. So that's how I see modern technology. It's about enablement and not disablement. So, very, very interesting. I'm going to try to get down to see Mark this summer. He doesn't live that far away, down in County Clare. And I've got plans to go and see my friend Terry, who's a renowned herbalist down in Clifton in County Connemara. Terry has a website, by the way, and a YouTube channel. Very knowledgeable about herbs. So at some point, I think I'll take, 4 or 5 days off and do a little bit of a ceilidh, as my grandmother used to say. When she was going anywhere visiting, she used to say, I'm away off on my ceilidh to such and such. So, yeah, I'd love to go down to Clare, visit Mark, and maybe do a little video with Mark if he's up for it. So blessings to you all on this beautiful day. The birds really are in their heaven, aren't they? Blessings to you all.